Okay, so this week we're going to be working with datasets. In anticipation of downloading your dataset from Qualtrics, you're going to have to make composite variables, compute averages, etc. And so I want to show you how to do this so you'll have extra practice. Okay, so there are several ways to do numbers 1 and 2, and I'm going to show you both. It says select only males and calculate their mean and standard deviation on Math 1. Select only females and calculate their mean and standard deviation on Math 2. So let's go look at our data. Here we are in gender, and here's Math 1 and Math 2. Alright, let's look at how we have gender labeled. 0 is equal to male and 1 is equal to female. Alright, we can do this in one of two ways. We can go down here and we can split the file. So I went to Data, come down to the bottom, split file. I'm going to organize output by groups. I'm going to select gender, and I'm going to say OK. Okay, and that's all it is. It's just this is the code that we ran. Alright, so we can go to Analyze, Descriptives. Descriptives. I've already brought it over. We reset it. We go to Math 1, and we're just going to say OK. Now look what it did. We have gender is equal to a dot, so there were 9 that didn't have, there were 9 for whom we had a math score that we did not have a gender score. And then we had 204 who were labeled male, which was 0, and 222 which were labeled 1, which was female. Okay, so since we're asking males on Math 1, we would copy this, go in here, double click, and put our variable there. I'm just going to delete these auto numbers that it gives us. Okay, and that's all we need to do for that one. And then we would want to do that. We could do the same thing on Math 2. However, if there's ever a time when you want to just select a certain variable and run analysis, let's just check on females, or let's just check on males, or let's just check on a certain ethnicity or language status or whatever. You can do that without having to delete anything in your data set. So the first thing you want to do anytime you do any of these things is to go back to what you just did, which is split file, and hit reset, or it's going to remember what you've done and keep splitting everything out. So now we're back to where we started from. So let's go to Data and go into Select Cases. Alright, I'm going to say select if condition is satisfied. I'm going to click that radio button and I'm going to say if gender is equal to 1, I'm going to say select it. So cross out everybody who's not 1. Continue, OK. And then all you see is you've got this code that's been run. Let's go look at our data. All right, here we are. Let's look at gender. So anybody that's a 0 got crossed out. Okay, and now we get to the 1s, and you can see the 1s are still active or live. All right, let's go back to our assignment. It says select only females, so we've done that. And let's calculate their mean and standard deviation on Math 2. So now we're going to go to Analyze Descriptives. Let's kick Math 1 out. And let's kick in Math 2, say OK. And we've got this we know now is the females. We don't have it labeled like here because we didn't separate divide the output by groups. We selected. So we would copy that and paste it in. Now, like with everything, you're going to go back to Select Cases and you're going to hit Reset and hit OK, or you're going to be in a world of hurt later because you're only going to be doing analysis on one portion of your data set. You don't want that. So I always go back and just to double check, make sure nothing's crossed out, which it's not. Okay, so Now it says to make an average of Math 1 and Math 2 and call it math average. Well, okay, that's your homework, so I'm not going to do that for you. I'll do it with a different variable. So let's look at our variable view, and we have an English 1 and an English 2. So let's do that and call it English average. So I'm going to go to transform, compute variable. I'm going to go into target variable and call it English underscore AVE. That's the target variable. I'm going to make, where am I, parentheses, and you can see the computer puts inside my parentheses my cursor. I'm going to say English 1, click it over, plus English 2, click it over, click outside of the parentheses, click the / and divide by 2. So that's the English 1 score plus the English 2 score, divide by 2 will give us the English average. Say OK. Go to my data set, and it will always put any newly created variable that you make at the end. Well, I don't want it at the end. I want English 1, I want English 2, and I want English AV to all be together. So if I click here, here, you can see this red line. I am dragging that guy up. So now I have English 1, English 2, and English AV. And I asked to make an average and call it Math AV. Okay, I've just changed it a little bit because you've made math average, but now I want you to report the mean and standard deviation for math average. So I'm going to report the mean and standard deviation for English average. So I'm just going to go to Analyze, Descriptives, take Math 2 out, go find English average, bring it over, and here it is. Okay, I would paste that in. Okay, so now I want you to take the variable how commute and label it 1 a walk, 2 is bike, 3 is bus, and 4 is drive. Okay, so we're going to go to our data. We're going to go to, where's how commute? How commute. 1 is walk, 2 is bike, 3 is bus, and 4 is drive. And say OK. Now we've got it in the right row. If I pull it up, I can see my variable labels. Okay, now I'm just going to run a frequency on that. So I'm going to go to Analyze, Descriptive, Frequencies, and find how commute. Bring it over, and I'm going to take, I'm going to leave the display frequency tables, and I'm not going to worry about statistics or charts, or actually, you know what, let's put a bar chart in there, just for the heck of it. Okay. Okay, we can see that most people take the bus. Walk, we have, this is your N, your frequency. Your valid percent is 10.5. So 26 walked, 15 biked, 193 rode the bus, and 13 drove. And our percentage is here. You would paste that into your homework. I don't need the bar chart. Okay, so let's see. Label the variable live on campus. 1 is equal to on campus, 0 is equal to off campus. Alright, let's do that. Let's go to our table, our data, live on campus, right above it. 1 is equal to on campus, 0 is off campus. And say OK. Alright, let's run a frequency on that. Oh, let me show you. You can go here to this recall dialog. This is called recall we call recently used dialogues. I can click there, I can take this, move it out, and then move this in. So everything that I've checked for the last one, so the chart's still going to say bar chart, and that's okay, we'll take a look. When we have the display frequency tables, we'll say okay. Alright, so it looks like most people live off campus, and the assignment is to copy this, to go to our homework, and then I ask you to make an APA table of this. So let's paste the regular table, and there is a way, if you choose, to Google it and figure it out yourself, to make SPSS give you output in APA tables. That's fine. If you want to figure that out, that's wonderful, go for it. But all I want is off campus and on campus. I want the frequency, which is my N, and I want my percentage, which is the valid percent. So that's 1, 2 rows, but I'll need a row for the heading, so that's 3 rows by 1, 2, 3. So 3 by 3 table. So I'm going to go to insert, I'm going to go 3 by 3, and this I'm going to say living, or let's say location, and then here we're going to say N, and here we're going to say percentage. Okay, and so we have off campus and on campus. Here we have 244. Here we have 170. Here we have 58.9%. Now you can put the percent here, but I don't really like that. I would rather this be percentage, and you just can put this in parentheses, or you can just have it be just the percent sign, because we know what that means. 41.1. Okay, now we've got that. I'm going to just go here and double click to get it on the next page, so we don't have to span those 2 pages like we are doing right now. So in APA we would say table 1, and then we'd come down here and we'd say, give it a name, so frequency of students living on and off campus, or some name like that. It's usually italicized. And then what we need to do is we just, in APA, we just, oh, what other thing I would like to do is make everything centered. Okay. I'll make the table. I don't know why we're here. Let me drag this guy over. It didn't work. I don't know why. I think it has to do with these indented numbers, but everything should be flush left, but I'm not going to fight it right now. Okay, so I would highlight everything. I would come up here. I'm going to take away all borders, and then I'm just going to have bottom border of what's highlighted. I'm going to have top border of what's highlighted, and then I'm going to do bottom border, and that is how you do that. Okay, and then I asked for a box plot of commute time by live on campus, a box plot of commute time by how commute, and then a scatter plot of height and weight, which we did last week, so you should know how to do that.